business, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today I am doing let's fill my sticker book because you know what, it's super empty and I have a huge backlog of stickers that I need to put in, especially now that I got those advent calendars. I gotta get in the October Sticky Club in here and also some other stuff, but yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, let's get into this. Alright, so let's pop this guy open. I put in a ton of stuff from Cute Things from Japan, from just like previous stuff that I've been meaning to put in here. And then I've been doodling during my games. That's supposed to be my character, Eloise, from my Pathfinder game. And yeah. Then I've got the Sticky Club stuff, plus I'm going to wind some washi. There's some Hobonichi stickers in here. There's just a lot of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. I can put some memo pads in. So we'll fill the memo pad. We'll fill, you know, just a ton of great stuff. It'll be fun. I've got some gifts. Yeah, I'm going to wind these as well. So that should be fun. So I'm just going to set this guy off to the side. Let's start with, you know what, let's start with the stickers. I usually start with the memo sheet, but let's start with the stickers. We're going to do the Yumi stickers, which are so cute. And I'm excited for them to they're finally getting a home in here. Because you know what, it's been a while. This was all the way back in, what, September when we got these? And I was so excited to get them, and then I didn't even put them in. Sorry, I've got lots of Spencer fur all over me. But yeah, now that I have a lot of time that I need to talk, I can talk about the trip that we went on and how much fun it was. We left on a Wednesday to go to San Diego because we needed to drop off the pets at my mom's house. She was going to kindly take care of them along with my dad, which is very nice because, you know, my mom, she loves animals. My dad, I mean, he does, but you know, he wants the quiet life. Whenever he gets a pet, though, he does. It's like, you know, those YouTube videos or those reels where the cat your dad didn't want, and then he like absolutely loves the animal super much. That's basically him. So this one's neat because look at, you get like 2 stickers in one. Because you get the frame and then you get the circle sticker in the middle. So we dropped off the pets and it was very sad because I didn't want to leave them. I miss them a lot. We would constantly talk about them and how they were doing. And then when you're overseas, you know, it's hard to get like pictures and stuff, so. Oh, well, even more so when we were on the boat, because for the longest time, I didn't think I had iMessage, but I guess iMessage worked on the boat. But yeah, anyways, so we missed the pets, but yeah, we left, we took a red eye to London, and the flight was, it was exhausting. It was very, very exhausting because I wanted to sleep, and I like taking red eyes because they, you know, they dim the lights and it's all made proper for you to go to sleep, and you can take a nice little sleepy time moment. And I didn't experience any sleep. I tried so hard to fall asleep and I just couldn't. Anytime that like I would actually like start to get any semblance of sleep, I would get woken up by my sister, and it would be like food. And she was not waking me up in the nicest way either. It was like, she would like hit me to wake me up. And it's like, okay, well now I'm definitely awake because I just got startled awake. And yeah, but it was neat because, well, I definitely want to be woken up for food, so I can't complain because I need the food. But yeah, the food wasn't too bad. I was drawing like all of the food that we were eating, so at least that was like making it so that way I was doing something on the plane. I had a task, so I drew up some food. They gave us like cookies, they gave us pretzels, and there were like 5 pretzels inside. But you know, since it is a long flight, you do get legit meals. So one of the meals, I think it was like a beef dish. I don't remember the first meal because it wasn't like super memorable. I did draw it though, so there is that. But the second meal, we got to choose like a vegetarian option or English breakfast. So I had to get that one because that was like one of our most anticipated things to try. Because usually when I go get breakfast, I don't really like the sweet stuff. I'll eat it, but I really prefer the savory stuff. So we had an English breakfast on the plane, and I know it doesn't really count as having an English breakfast, but it was pretty good. For airline food, I mean, can't really complain. At least they're giving us something that was like edible, and yeah, it tasted good. At least I think it tasted. We all agree that it tasted good. Where are you gonna go? I guess you can go here. I'm gonna save those. We'll save these. These doodles are gonna go in my memo container, so I'm just gonna set them aside real quick, and then we can get into the Stickiiclub stuff. I like to separate them out on the sides based on what they're made out of. So clear stickers, or like anything like this, anything with like on a clear backing, or even these are also really good. See how they have like a clear backing on the back? These guys can go on any side of the page, but the paper stickers can only go on the right. If you're getting this paper, I say this not everyone, so sorry if you're hearing this again, but I have to say it because I'm always getting asked questions, and I love the questions, but I just want to put it out there. If you're going on my Amazon link and you're looking for this paper, there's 2 sides to it. There's a smooth side, and then there's more of like a textured side. The paper stickers have to go on the smooth side, or else they have literally no chance of staying on the page. Because even on the smooth side, it still struggles. I don't blame the paper, I blame the paper stickers because they just don't have that much adhesive on them, and even when it comes to me putting them in my Hobonichi, sometimes I end up having to glue them down. So I blame the stickers, I don't blame the paper. But once they've been like stuck on for a while, then you're good. You're golden. You don't have to worry about that. They're not gonna fall off. So long as you like close the book and you leave it closed, because like look at this is a paper sticker. These are all paper stickers and they haven't like popped off. The only ones that I would say are like problem children are the like super small ones like these. These do have a chance of coming off, but don't put them like where you're going to manipulate the page a lot, because I used to put them on the edges so that way they're easier to take off. But I found that makes it so that way they come off a lot more, because you're bending it and stuff. So anyways, back to the trip now that I've given my usual spiel about the stickers. We got to London and we ended up just taking an Uber to Southampton, which, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to take the train, because why wouldn't we just take the train? But no one else wanted to take it. My sister was scared of taking it. Johnny just wanted ease with everything and not having to worry about anything. But unfortunately, when we got there, we were getting scammed by our Uber driver, who wasn't moving and he wasn't responding to any of our messages. He wasn't picking up the phone calls that we were sending him, or when we were calling him. He just wasn't responding. And it was the, oh, well, I'm not going to cancel the drive so that way I can still get paid type of thing. And what's annoying about that is that this guy had so many good reviews, and if we cancel it, we can't leave a review for the guy showing that he refused to come. Because we thought it was like an issue with our phones at first, because they had to swap over to international, and that took a little bit of time. But we were standing outside in the parking lot, legit, for an hour. An hour! We were waiting for this man to drive 10 miles. And then trying to figure it out. And yeah, it was just horrible and scummy. So scummy of him to do that. And yeah, zero repercussions. Zero repercussions for him. But we eventually ended up just canceling it. Well, actually, Johnny canceled it on accident. He didn't mean to. He didn't mean to cancel it, but we were so sleep deprived that he went to like go close the window that he was using, and he ended up canceling the ride. But it was okay because that dude was never gonna come. So we ended up putting in for another one. My sister put it in for another one. And then a guy picked it up, and then he immediately canceled it, but thankfully he canceled it. I think because they didn't want to like drive super far out, which is whatever. But then we got another man, and he was very kind, and he took us, and we did have like one scary part where he missed the turn and he like dead stopped in the middle of the freeway. It was very, very scary to try and make a left, because he was gonna go right. It was like turning like this. He was on the way to go right, but he needed to go left, and he dead stopped in the freeway, and we could have totally been rear-ended, and that would have been very, very bad. So that was kind of scary, but we got there safely. No accidents happened. And then we had to wait a little bit for our hotel to let us in, because no hotels would let you do early check-in at all. Like, let me pay a little bit extra just to do an early check-in, please. But once we were settled in, we decided to explore Southampton for a bit. And we went to a pub And we ate some food and it was pretty great. The vibes are very cool, very chill. They were actually having a marathon in Southampton at the time, so it was funny because people were coming in with like costumes, so it was cute. And I had my very first mushy peas, which I did not think I would like because generally I despise peas. I think they're so gross. They make me want to gag. But the mushy peas, mashy peas, I think it's mushy peas. Those were very good. We had to add I added salt and pepper to them because they weren't very seasoned. And then they were like super good. But yeah, I will always try something for the first time, even if I have past like feelings about them. I'll always give it a shot, especially if we're like traveling and it's like, all right, fine, I gotta try it. This is what they eat, I'm trying it. So yeah, I tried that. To my surprise, I liked it. We also had fish and chips, but that wasn't the first time that I'd have that. And then we also got like these appetizers that they had, and our favorite one was this like brisket croquette. Oh, that was delicious. Very good. And then after that, we went back to the hotel. We all showered up and started getting ready for the next day, which would be when we would be going on the cruise. And we were all very excited. We felt tired and we all fell asleep. And it's funny because we all woke up legit at the same time. We woke up at like 3 a.m. and all of us were wide awake. Oh, the jet lag was real. So we kind of just like sat, and then we were hungry and we had some candy that we had purchased from a convenience store while we were exploring the night before. So we just started all eating candy. Yes, not the best to be eating at 3 o'clock in the morning, but when the grumbling calls, you just gotta eat something. And we didn't have like anything to do, you know, like sure, we wake up and we can go exploring, but nothing's open, so we can't really do anything. So we were like looking for food to eat when we would be waking up at like a proper hour. But yeah, so we kind of just hung out for a bit, and then we tried to all fall asleep again, and we fell asleep for like a couple of hours and then woke up again, and we're like, whatever, let's just start getting ready. We can go have breakfast, because we wanted to have a proper English breakfast, not from the flight. So we tried, we found a place that made English breakfast. A lot of places don't open early for breakfast. So like here in the States, you'll get restaurants that open at 6 o'clock in the morning and you can go eat breakfast. But theirs is like a late breakfast, I guess. Because we could not find a single place that opened up like at 7 o'clock. Everything was like opening up later, or the things that were open were too far. So we went to this cafe that said that it was open and that they had English breakfast, but then they said that the kitchen didn't open until an hour later, and that would have been too late because we still needed to go to port, and that was at like 11. So we didn't want to like, you know, risk it, you know, just to eat a breakfast. We wanted to be on time because we were very nervous about missing the ship or missing our call to come aboard the ship. So we just ended up having to go back to the hotel, which was kind of lame, but you know, it really wasn't that bad. They had stuff for English breakfast, and it was really good. It's funny because we were like, we don't want to eat hotel food because it's just not going to be good. And it actually was pretty good. It wasn't bad. We were also very, very starving because in our heads, we had gone like all day without eating because we woke up at 3 o'clock and we needed food. We needed real food besides just candy in our tummies. So yeah, after that, we went back up to the room. We killed some time for a little bit, and then we headed out. We got another Uber to take us to the port because we didn't want to have to take or lug all of our stuff there because, you know, we each had a suitcase to carry, and thank goodness we didn't, because Johnny was like first asking me before we came on the trip. He was like, do you think walking 30 minutes would be okay to get to the port? That's how far it is. And I was like, with all of our stuff? No, I do not want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. And thankfully we didn't do it because, man, that road was so windy and it was like hills and then, you know, going down. That would have been miserable with our suitcases. So we got there early, and thankfully they just let us on the ship, which I didn't know they could do or that they would do. I didn't know that they would do that because they give you times on when you can, you know, it's that way they're staggering all the people that go onto the ship. And we got there early, so that was nice. We dropped our bags off, and then we headed in. And our first spot that we wanted to check out was, of course, the food. Even though we had just eaten like a few hours ago, we wanted to check out the buffet. So we went to the buffet, and we each grabbed another plate because why not? It's there, and we paid for it. So there we ended up having another English breakfast. They actually had more stuff available, so that way you could get a real English breakfast, and it was really yummy. And we started our adventure. I mean, like, they don't actually take off until later in the day, but you know, it is what it is. We were having fun. We were also very, very tired. The jet lag really got us those first like 4-ish days. It was really hard to adjust. It's definitely easier to adjust coming back than it is going there. So yeah. My sister and Aiden, they took a nap, and then Johnny and I explored the ship for a bit, but gosh, we like explored for 2 hours. We had some of the Bon Voyage cake, and we were just spent. We were so tired. I was like, okay, they had a 2-hour nap, so let's go swap, because we only had one bed set up. Like the, yeah, we only had one bed set up, and then I guess they have like bunks, but they need to pull them down. So we were like, okay, we're gonna swap out. You and I are gonna take a nap, and then they can go explore the ship, and then we can get some sleep. because it was very, 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 very needed. But then our nap got cut short by the, what do they call them? They call them, they have a word for it where they go and they clean your room. Stew attendant. Stew attendant came and we got startled awake and jumped out of bed and was like, okay, can you set it up? And she was like, oh, I can't set it up if you're in here. And it's like, why? So then we had to leave. We had to leave and then find the other two. But we basically got like maybe 30 minutes nap. And we were very, very tired. I will say, though, that there are some really cool shows on the ship, which I wasn't expecting it to be as good as what it was. We got to see an ice skating show. I think maybe that was like my least favorite out of all the shows. But then they had this dancing show, which I loved because it was like all Latin dancing and yeah, it was very, very fiery. I loved it. And then they had a band come, and I think that was probably my favorite. They played just a bunch of 50s music, which was great, because then, you know, I don't know, there's something about 50s music that's just so beautiful, and yeah, I love it. So you got a lot of Elvis, and yeah, it was so much fun. They did a really good job hyping up the crowd. And then the last show we went to go watch was the Grease. They had Grease, which yeah, not for kids. I always forget how raunchy that movie is, but you know, it is what it is. The songs are still really good. And then we didn't watch the final one. I wanted to, but I was so tired by the end of the cruise that I just wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to go to sleep. I didn't want to go out at 9 o'clock, which is so early, especially for me because I am typically, like, before the trip, I was going to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, which I know is not, it's not good. It's not good to do that, but I would do it. And then I would wake up at 6 or no, 7, you know. Anyways, by that last day, I was so tired. It was the comedian, and I'm sure he was probably very, very funny. And he was going to have 2 sets. He was going to have one earlier at night that I guess would be like a little bit more family friendly. And then the second one was at night, later at night, like at 10. And it said that it was for adults. So we didn't go see him, but it's okay. We got some very much needed sleep because we did a ton of walking. So much walking. I think like Germany, we did, I think 7 hours of walking. And this is like straight walking because, of course, my calls of, can we please use public transport, was fallen on deaf ears. Because neither of them wanted to use the public transport. And I kept seeing like the off and on buses, hop on, hop off buses. And I was like, those are the buses that we heard the other people talking about. Like, do you guys want, nope. They did not want to use them. So we walked and we walked and we walked. We actually went to this bunker. I think it was like the one of the only, if not only, air raid bunkers that they had in Germany. That was really neat. But that was also a lot of stairs. It was so many stairs to get to the top. And we had to walk all the way over there and then walking all of the stairs. Yeah, it was very, very tiring. I will say that after this trip, my body was very, very tired. Because, like, I had parts of my body that I was like, you use those muscles for walking? Like, what is going on? That it was just hurting and aching, but it was all very much worth it because we had lots of pictures. We have lots of new memories, and it was good. We went to a restaurant that had traditional German food, and it was very tasty, and we stuffed our faces. It's funny because we got like this board that was like a meat and cheese board, and we didn't think it was gonna be as big as what it was because it says that it served 2 people. Did it say it served 2 people? There was like a smaller one that you could order in the appetizer, and then there was like a $20 one that said, yeah, it did. It said serves 2 people. That thing was ginormous. It was huge. That's like serves 4 to 5 people, I think. Yeah, but it was so good. It was so good. They had good pickles on it. I guess like gherkins, right? And then the bread was so yummy, and the cheese was good, and the meats were all good. Very, very delicious. We all really enjoyed that. And then Johnny got, I think, like the pork schnitzel, which was also very good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we also found a cafe in Germany that made these cinnamon rolls. Oh, that cinnamon roll was so delicious. It was a Nutella cinnamon roll with strawberries on top of it. The one thing I do wish we got, though, were these sandwiches at the bakery that we went to, or at this, yeah, it was like a bakery and then like sandwich shop. They had these sandwiches that were all like lined up, and there were different sandwiches, and they had like cream cheese, and they had they looked so good. But because we hit up this spot like early in the morning, we were like, okay, well, let's just get the cinnamon roll as like breakfast for us, and then we can come back for lunch and get one of those amazing sandwiches, because we kept seeing these sandwich spots as we were walking through, and we're like, no, let's go to the first one, you know, just because it looked like it was like a mom and pop shop type of situation. I don't know if it was, but it didn't look like a chain like how all of the other places that we spotted, they look like they were chains. I don't know. But we wanted to go back to the first one because they were really nice to us, and we should have just grabbed the sandwiches as we saw them because we were hungry. Because by the time that we got back to the sandwich spot, they were pretty much all sold out. They do not remake the sandwiches. So once they're gone, they're gone. But we did grab one, and it was very, very tasty. It was very good. I can see why they are so popular. And ours was just like an egg one. So the ones with the meat had to have been like super spectacular. I think Germany was a lot of fun. We went to Germany, and then we had more days at sea. We had a day at sea, and then we went to the Netherlands. And I wish we had more time in the Netherlands. That was like a short port day, because, you know, we had to like leave and get back to Southampton the following day. But I wish we could have spent more time in the Netherlands, because I feel like we barely scratched like the surface, especially since like you're allowed to leave the ship at like 6:30, but nothing is open. Nothing's open. So it's like you're waiting, which I guess is a lesson learned. You don't need to leave the port at 6:30. You can have a late wake up. And go out once things are actually awake in the world, because we spent like 3 hours just walking around, which it was very, very pretty, being able to see all the buildings. It was very neat. Oh my gosh, everyone rides bikes there. Everyone had a bike. And it was great. And then to my surprise, nobody was locking up their bikes. Or very few people were locking up their bikes. So that's cool. It felt very, very safe. If they're not locking up their bikes, then you know it's safe. So yeah, we spent like 3 hours just aimlessly walking around. We did take a water taxi, which was super cool, because none of us have ever done that. And that was a fun experience. And then we went to this famous food hall that everyone knows about. It has like this really cool painted ceiling or graphic ceiling. I'm not sure if it was painted or graphics, but it was really pretty. And there was all different foods in there, and we decided to have some of everything. Well, not everything. We each picked something from different places, and then we each got a stroopwafel, which, oh my gosh, that stroopwafel was so yummy. Oh, it was so good, and for it to be made like warm and handed to you on a cold day was just like this right here. It's this face right here. It was so tasty. I got a Nutella one, and it was delicious. So delicious. Yeah, I loved it. We all loved it. But then after that, we went to the Natural History Museum, which we thought was gonna be cool, but it was so tiny. It was so tiny, and the first things that you saw were kind of like sad. I mean, I get what they're doing, like the environmental bit, but yeah, they had a bunch of dead stuffed animals at the front, and then descriptions on how each of them died. Yeah, I understand, like, that they're trying to put out the message, like, don't litter, things like that. But man, one of the stories was kind of weird, and I can't even say it. I can't even say why it was weird. Let's just say it involves 2 ducks. And one of them was no longer with us, but the other one was with us. So yeah. And then the taxidermy was really funny. They weren't the best taxidermies, so the faces were kind of funny. But it was good. You know, Aiden wanted to go to the Natural History Museum just that way he could say that he went to a Natural History Museum in another country, and we had a good time. I got a postcard from there, so that was neat. And after that, we pretty much had no more time to do anything. We just had to go back to the ship. And you know what? It was like, honestly, the best amount of time, especially since we left so early and we had all of those extra hours of walking. Because we didn't Uber or anything. The only thing that we did was oh no, wait, we did Uber. We Ubered once from the food hall to Natural History Museum. But then it was still a lot of walking. It was a lot of walking, and I felt so exhausted. My body was so tired and achy, and we ended up just going to the jacuzzi, which was really nice. It made the achy muscles feel not so achy. It was cold, but actually that day was actually pretty... Alright, sorry, my phone filled with the storage, so I had to clear it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really liked going to the main dining because you get like a 3-course meal, and The servers are really nice and they really take care of you. Plus, the kid ate, like, he would devour that food. I don't know what they were putting in it, but it was like 0 complaints from that kid, which normally he's like super picky. He's like weird picky. He won't eat like your standard food, but then he'll eat like sushi, things like that. But yeah, he was eating things like crazy, and I think it was a really good time. I really liked going to the main dining. I actually preferred it over going to the Windjammer. Even though like the Windjammer was really good, but it was like a lot of options and I feel like I always picked wrong. For what I should have gotten, and then I would get full and I'm like, I should have got that instead, because then I would walk through it again and be like, man, that looks way better. Although I did have a really big salad and that was delicious. So yeah, I do regret not going to the brunch because they do have a brunch option at the Windjammer, and I would have really loved to have some Eggs Benedict to see how they were, because that's like my favorite thing to get for breakfast is an Eggs Benedict, and I didn't get an Eggs Benedict. No one wanted to go with me. Well, like, the one day that like we could have gone to it, it wasn't gonna open for an hour, and then my sister was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to wait. So we just went to the Windjammer. I should have just waited by myself and gone to it by myself. There was a lot of activities. Someone stole my marker because we did a murder mystery. It wasn't like a murder mystery. It was more like a whodunit. Like, who are the criminals? And you have to figure out who the criminals were. And I had the sheet and it's showing like all the people. And I pointed to, before we even got into the clues, I pointed to the old guy and I was like, he did it. He did it. I know he did it because it's always the person that you least medium expect. And sure enough, okay, because one, they kept thinking it was this one guy that everyone was pointing to. Everyone's pointing to this guy saying that he did it. And I'm like, dude, it's not him. That's too obvious. It's too obvious that it's him. But nobody wanted to listen to me. And I was like, it's the old man who did it. So I would have gotten one right. But no one wanted to listen to me that it was the old man. And then they didn't want to listen to me that it was so obvious that it's not the guy that everyone's pointing at. So we didn't win. We did not win. It was like you had to have a group of 8 to 10 people. So it wasn't just like the 4 of us. It was 2 other couples were with us. And yeah. No one wanted to listen to me, and I didn't appreciate that. Because we could have at least gotten it half right. I could have picked the old man, and at least we wouldn't have picked somebody that was obviously not the bad guy, because he was the red herring. No one... Anyways. But during that, we were writing all these clues, and we only had 1 pencil, and I had taken my book that I was drawing with, and I had taken some of these markers so that way I could just use to add color to the page of my drawings. And I was like, okay, even before pulling out my pen, my marker, I was like, I really need to make sure that I have all of them back because I feel like somebody's gonna take one. And sure enough, one of the other people took one. They took one. Which is so cringe. How do you use the marker and then just take it? They took my marker. So that was not cool. I'm not sure if they thought that it was like the cruise's marker and they turned it into the cruise or whatever, but yeah. took my marker. They took my pink marker too, which was lame. But at least I got to keep, I had let 2 people use my markers, and one of them went missing on the cruise. Poor lad is lost at sea. But that was fun. I liked going to the karaoke. I did not sing because I cannot sing to save a life. Unless it's like jokingly singing, which maybe if I had to choose one song, because I asked like everyone, like, what would you sing? I would want to sing Mulan, the Somehow I'll Make a Man Out of You. That song, I love that song. It just gets you so hyped. And usually whenever we're playing like video games that require you to be like super hyped, we end up singing that song. So, with like my friends and stuff. So I think I would sing that one. Aiden said he would sing Return to Sender Elvis, which I think he would have done a very, very good job singing that song. It's a good song. And then Desiree, she didn't give a song. And then Johnny, I can't remember what he said. It's in my journal though, so I have it there. Because I pre-decorated all of my spreads before we went and journaled while we were there. And the cruise was kind of perfect because then I could just go find a table and just sit there and journal or draw. I think the one thing that we didn't do was bring enough activities. Like, people had cards that they were playing, which was nice. We should have done that. We did buy a deck of cards, but it was just Johnny and me. And we needed more people to play with because my sister was napping a lot. Well, she wasn't napping. She was sleeping. She was sleeping a lot. Because a nap is like an hour. I'll give a 2-hour nap, okay? Sure. But she was sleeping for like 6 hours. And then Aiden would want to sleep with her. Sleep for 6 hours. So it was mainly just like Johnny and me trying to just entertain each other on the days when we were out to sea. So yeah, we didn't have enough players, so we were just playing like solitaire, things like that. We played War and he kicked my butt. He kicked my butt in War, and that was like the extent of our 2-person game knowledge. We need to learn more. I did some origami. It's actually in my Hobonichi. They're very, 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 very simple, very basic. But hey, I was able to do it. It was a kitty cat head and a witch head. And I think they turned out pretty cute. And then I also did some napkin folding. They have some interesting like activities that you can do. The one thing that I wish that I did was do the ballroom dance with the professionals. But I didn't want to go by myself. Johnny would have gone with me. I don't know why he didn't go with me one day. Oh, he was tired, so he took a nap. See? The naps ruined everything. No naps. Just, you know, take in as much experience as possible. But yeah, I didn't want to like go dance by myself, especially if I have Johnny, and I don't know. I didn't want to do that. He did, however, do line dancing with me, which wasn't line dancing. I'm sorry. When I do line dancing, I want to do it to country music, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't really like country music. But if you're going to be doing line dancing, it's got to be to country music. And this was like, it was like to like Pitbull and stuff like that. And no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do like salsa line dancing. And again, this is coming from somebody who's obsessed with salsa dancing. I love Latin dancing. Salsa is probably my favorite type of dancing. Oh yeah, it was like salsa and bachata, and I love both of those. But It's like when you're doing the waltz. I want to do the waltz to classic waltz music. I don't want to do the waltz to today's music. That's just lame to me. It's actually why I stopped watching Dancing with the Stars, because they kept doing it to like modern music and it looks so off. So yeah, it wasn't line dancing in my eyes. It was salsa dancing. It was salsa dancing and bachata. And there were way too many people on the floor. They really needed to limit it and excuse people off the floor, like, ooh, sorry, because then you couldn't see what the person was teaching. So I was just in the back because my silly fool of a brain was like, I don't want to go up to the front. I'm too shy to go to the front. I should have gone to the front so that way I can actually see what was going on, because I couldn't see anything in the back because I was also very tiny, and everyone in front of me was like a 5'11" goddess, and I'm just back there being a 5'2" hobbit, which, I don't know, I think I would rather be a hobbit. But yeah, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see a thing. So I was just making up my own thing in the back because, hey, it's just salsa dancing and it's just bachata. So I was just making up my own, I was making up my own steps for that. But yeah, Johnny did that with me and he did a really good job. He doesn't dance. But you know what? He did it. And I'm proud of him for stepping out of his comfort zone and doing that with me. It really meant a lot. And I think there were only 2 other guys on the dance floor doing it. So kudos to the men that stuck around and they tried. They tried in the cramped mess. There's so many people. Yeah, definitely they needed to limit it. Yeah, what else about the cruise? Let's see. Nothing much left on the cruise. I think I got my value, but you know what? I think next time I would definitely want to go to a tropical location, so that way you can go on the slides and stuff, because they only had one heated pool, and I'm pretty sure the solarium was probably heated because that one was indoors, but that's an adult only place. So we couldn't go in there because we've got Aiden with us and he would not be allowed in there. So we stuck to the outside, and I tried my hardest to go into the pool because he really wanted us all in the pool. And it was so cold, and they said that it was heated, but I don't know about that. I mean, it was warmer, but it was still cold. Yeah, no. I just went to the jacuzzi. But it would have been cool to do the slides. It would have been cool to do like the spooky board surfboarding thingy. They actually signed up for it. Johnny and Aiden did, but they didn't do it because it was so freezing cold the day that they tried to do it, that it was too much. And that thing was like ice cold. Like, I don't get how the guy working it, how he stays in it all day, because it's freezing cold. So yeah, we didn't do that. So I think if we were to go to like Mexico or something like that, it would be a lot more fun, because then you could actually take advantage of the outdoor activities. We didn't even do miniature golfing, which was lame. I really wanted to do that. But like I said, the days when we were out to sea, it was freezing. It was freezing cold. We did not want to go outside. I think I stepped outside like 2 times and it was for like a couple of seconds, but once that boat starts like moving and it chills you to your core, to your absolute core, and that's a no for me. I like the cold, but I don't like that cold. It's cold and I want to snuggle in a blanket and have a bunch of layers on me and wear an oodie and eat snackies while watching like Twilight type of cold, or watching Gilmore Girls. So yeah, I think if next time we do cruise, definitely do a tropical location would be cool, or maybe doing an Alaskan cruise. Oh my gosh, that would be the dream, to do an Alaskan cruise. But I think we're out of stickers. I'm gonna do my memo pad and stuff, and then we can do these little guys. Let's see, where are we gonna put these? We can save the rest of the trip for when I do the big one, the big the big sticker advent calendars that I have. But until then, we'll save all that chit chat for then, and then I can just talk about just the stuff that we've been doing since we got home, which is lots of laundry, because we basically took like all of our wardrobe there. It was fun being able to curate outfits, because I love a good outfit. They make me happy being able to have a nice outfit. So it was fun being able to like create little outfits to wear and to actually wear them out, and it feels so fancy, you know? Like have something to do, I guess. Because like when I go out here, it's like, okay, we're going to Costco. We're going to Costco, or we're going to pick up groceries, things like that. Like it's not like anything to do, you know? But this made it to where we were actually doing stuff, so it made it more fun. But yeah, we went to the mall the other day, and we were trying to find some stuff for my nephew for his birthday, because when we were, yeah, that's right. While we were gone, he had a birthday. And he's really into Poppy Playtime, which, you know, I can appreciate him liking the spooky stuff, because I like spooky stuff too. But unfortunately, there's not very many Poppy Playtime stuff right now. I think it's like diving out of its popularity. So it's harder to find things like plushies and stuff like that. And he only likes Huggy Wuggy. So then trying to find that is even more of a difficult task, to find Huggy Wuggy. But I did find some stuff. I went online and I was like looking at Hot Topic, and I found that they had a Squishmallow of Huggy Wuggy. So I was like, okay, they only have one, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the mall. Do you want to go with me, Johnny? And he was like, well, I'm not gonna have you go by yourself. It's like, it's okay, I'm just picking up something from the mall. And he was like, no, I'll go with you. So we went together to the mall. The kid did not want to go with us. So we went to the mall alone, and we picked up that Squishmallow, and I thought it was gonna be like big, like a big Squishmallow, but it was very, very tiny. It's like this big. But you know what? It's one thing that we found, and then we also went to Spencer's Gift, and I was like, maybe they'll have it there. And we found a what did we find? We found a blanket. of him, and he's very, very scary. He looks like nightmare fuel. But you know what? He likes it, so I'll get it for him. And then I found a very small plush of him, so I hope he likes that. I know he has a ton of plushies. He has a really, really big one, and he's actually going to be Huggy Wuggy for Halloween, which I'm excited to see. He's going to be so scary. So I got him like a small plush of it. Hopefully he doesn't have one already, but I figured maybe that can be like the going out plushie that he can take, since the other one is so massive. It's like the size of him is like how big the plushie is. So yeah, hopefully he likes it. And then I got him another character as well from Poppy Playtime, but it's not the main character that he likes. So I'm not sure if he's gonna like that or not. We'll see. But I am excited to go to Halloween at my brother's house. He goes all out with his decorations, and he does a really good job decorating. He's more of like the traditional Halloween decorations, like, you know, ghosts and pumpkins and witches and grim reapers, whereas like when I would decorate for Halloween, it's based off of the costumes that we're wearing, so that way we can have like a scenery for our costumes. But I think I'm gonna start making things so that way it's like, okay, we have Halloween decorations, and they're more set, so that way I can expand on them. Just because, you know, we use it for one time and then that's it, and then it's like, you know, a waste, and all of my hours are down the drain. Plus, like, I don't know, I don't think we get very much foot traffic here. Well, honestly, I don't even know if we do or not, because the times when we have had Halloween, we've left and we've gone other places. So I don't know how Halloween is actually on my street. All I do know is that they do like to steal all of the candy if you leave a bowl out. So yeah, that happened last year. An adult took the entire bowl of candy, which is despicable. Yeah. So maybe one year we will get to experience it, but this year will not be it, because I feel bad that we weren't here for my nephew's birthday. So we're gonna go spend Halloween and then celebrate him a bit during Halloween, and then being able to go trick-or-treating with all of them will be super great. Oh, these washi tapes are so cute. I got these, I'm pretty sure, from PaperTreatshop, and they're so adorable, and I'm excited to use them. I wasn't counting how many wraps I was doing on this one, but you know what? We'll just go with however many I feel like would fit in the binder, and that'll be good. You don't need much because it goes a long way. And then we'll do this one. This is so pretty. This is like a bathhouse one, and I got it from PaperTreats. It was actually from the event that she had that was super awesome, and I loved it. It was like a good way to meet people. And everyone's so sweet and kind, so I really love that about this community. Everyone's always so kind and just generous. They're generous and very uplifting, right? Which is always the best. All right, this one I have to cut with scissors though. I love pet tapes. Dare I say I love them more than washi tape? I don't know. But they are pretty great. I think because I haven't had a pet tape that's like, hasn't been good quality. They're all really good quality. Even the ones that are like cheapo, like they're just like Scotch tape, even those are really good. Okay, for this one, I do have one over here that hasn't been wrapped. I'm pretty sure I got this like last year and I never wrapped it. But you know what? We need some Christmas tape because it's that time of the year. It's just right around the corner. So let's put some on. But yeah, do you guys have any plans for Halloween? What are you guys doing? I've never been to a Halloween party ever. I've always wanted to go to one, but I've never been to one. And then now it's like I can't really go to a Halloween party because I want to spend it with my kid. And, you know, have those memories with him. But Halloween parties sound like a lot of fun, like everyone dressed up and looking super cute. And then just having a blast dancing and listening to music. I don't know. What I'm just taking Halloween parties from like movies and, you know, what they do in those. But yeah, what are you guys doing? Are you going trick-or-treating? Do you celebrate Halloween? Do you just pass out candy? Do you go to an event? An event would be really cool to go to. Oh, I think it would be so awesome to like go to like a Halloween ball. Do they have those? Because if they do, I need to know because I would love to go to like a Halloween ball where you dress up in like, I don't know, like a ghastly Victorian outfit. And then you can waltz to some spooky music or something. I don't know. It would be very, very cool. And then you could have like themed food that you eat. That would be the dream, to go to a ball. Every girl deserves to be taken to a ball. Yeah, that would be fun. What other things can you do on Halloween? You could stay in and watch horror movies. I think that would be really neat. And you can eat food and just be like cuddled on the couch watching scary movies. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'm hoping Aiden wants to hang out with us for as long as possible on Halloween. I know that will not be the case for the rest of his life. He's gonna want to fly the coop and hang out with his friends, which I totally understand. But I think it would be cool to be able to decorate the house like scary and scare a bunch of kids, because that's what I used to do when we were teenagers. We used to make the house scary and we would scare kids. This is the way. This is the rite of passage, right? Because normally when I would decorate the house, like when Aiden was super little, because it was like themed, it would be super cutesy and sweet, and I wouldn't do anything scary because, you know, he wasn't anything scary. He was just like cute costumes. But now that he's getting older, maybe when he doesn't want to go trick-or-treating, I think I would definitely want to do spooky stuff. All of the spooky stuff. All right, let's grab these, and then let me see if I had any other things that I can put in here. I'm going to save all of these stickers for later. But for now, we can grab some of these things that I've been meaning to put in my memo container, and I just haven't. And then we can put them in. Oh, that's a postcard. That goes in a different folder. So do these. stickers. We can put this in, this in. Ooh, these guys definitely have to go in, and then this little guy. Okay, these I'll save for another day. I'll probably do them like off camera, just because sometimes these sticker flakes are a little bit finicky, and no one wants to see me struggling trying to get them to work. I don't know if I want to save this for, no, we're gonna use it. It's gonna go in here. And then I just like to stuff things in wherever I feel, I don't know, I get like a vibe, like, ooh, yeah, that looks like it could go with these guys, right? Like they're sleeping and it's all cute. And then for these, let's just skip ahead until we find something that looks like it could go like that. Looks like it could go with this, so let's just stick it in there. And then I like to do like big gaps in between, like when it's the same style. And then coffee, that could really go with anything. Crepes, let's put it here. And then all of these little kitty cats, we can just slip in anywhere because kitty cats go with anything. They will fit all of your needs, and they will bring happiness and love and greatness to any page. So these guys can just slip in anywhere. So I just like to flip through like 4 or 5, pop one in. This way it makes it so that way you don't have to think about trying to make everything look matchy or perfect, you know. I used to do that. Everything had to match and everything had to look cohesive, and honestly, it just made journaling take way too long, especially when you're trying to sift through a bunch of memo pads and you know, stickers and everything else. I mean, I do sift through my stickers, trying to get like whatever feels like it looks like it would go. But this right here, this memo container has just made everything so much easier, where I just grab the first few or so memo sheets or whatever's in here, and I just use that. 1,000 times easier. Oh, and then these little guys, these are the ones that I did. Wait, I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I'm missing something, but I can't recall, so it's okay. Yeah, these are just cats that I drew up. Amelia, my character, with her potions and her bombs. She's a bomb enthusiast. Is funny because in the game, the courthouse that we were in, we were defending the beast. He's basically like Frankenstein's monster, and they're blaming everyone for all of these bad things happening around town. And there was a mob outside that happened. Look at little Donald, they love him. There was a mob that happened outside, and they crashed in. And the DM was like, you know, these people, they're innocent. They don't know what they're doing. They're just incited with hatred, you know. So maybe you don't want to kill them. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pull out my alchemist fire, which is basically like a fireball type situation. I didn't use it on them. There were some bad guys in taking advantage of the commotion and trying to get rid of us. So that was like me tossing my bombs and stuff and, you know, taking them out. We gotta take them out. but then I was using it as like a way to try and convince the people to leave. I didn't want to hurt anyone, but I was just acting like super crazed and I'm gonna blow everyone up to get them to be like, oh gosh, we gotta leave. I don't want to actually get hurt type of situation. So it did work. It got rid of some of the mob. They left, and that was great. But I think that's it for today. This has been going on for, I think, maybe an hour, so we'll leave it at that. We've got some cute things in our memo container that we can use. Let's see how much stuff we used up, which is a lot. We got some flakes here, which is great. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, these need to be over here. We're not getting rid of that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30 sheets, plus memo container stuff, plus we wound some washi, which I've been meaning to do. They feel so nice when they're like this. Highly recommend doing this. A lot easier on the storage, just like how it's a lot easier to fill a sticker book, and it gets you to actually use them, which I am an advocate for. Use your stickers. They're happier when they're in your journal surrounded by all of your writing. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about the first part of our trip, which was the cruise and all of that fun stuff. Oh, let's do a quick flip through of like all of the stickers real quick. So we've got some here, some here. I think I flipped forward a bit because these are still pretty full. Got some more Halloween stickers. And then this is where it like really fills in. Got our little coffee cats and then our cute little doggy. More doggy stickers. Some melon stickers. All of the food stickers are great. Some kitties. Oh, look at the Yumi stickers. They're so precious. And then these I got from Hobonichi. I love them so much. I wanted to get the postcards as well, but they were like $4 each. I thought it was like a pack. Yeah, no, it was not a pack. It's $4 each for postcards, but I would have definitely loved to have gotten the postcards, but the stickers are pretty cute too. But yeah, I think that is it for today. What do you guys think? Are you guys filling up a sticker book? If you guys have any questions about the sticker book, the folder is from Japan's, the paper is from Amazon, and I have that linked in the description. But yeah, if you have any other questions about them, I'm always happy to answer anything and everything. They make me so happy. I love getting questions. But yeah, if you liked this video and you would like to see more, subscribe. I hope you have a really awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next one. All right, bye!